The hum of the car's engine was the only sound for a while. Chris sat in the back seat, fingers fidgeting with the small velvet box in his lap. His heart pounded against his ribs, each beat echoing the excitement and nerves coursing through him. He stared out the window, watching the familiar streets roll by, each one bringing him closer to the moment he had dreamed of for nearly 2 years. From the rear-view mirror, the driver, an older man with a weathered face and kind eyes, caught sight of the little box in Chris's hands. "Whoa," he said with a light chuckle, breaking the silence. "Nice rock you got there. Who's the lucky lady? Or guy?" "Hey, I'm progressive." Chris looked up, startled at first, then laughed softly. "Her name's Emma," he said, his voice warm with affection. "We've been together 3 years now." 3 years? The driver whistled. "That's a long time these days." "Yeah," Chris nodded, "and I told her I'd ask her to marry me when I got back from deployment." The driver's eyes softened. "Deployment, huh? So you're a soldier?" "Yeah," Chris replied, looking down. "U.S. Army. Just got back last night." The driver grinned. "Well, first off, thank you for your service. And second, congratulations are in order. Emma's a lucky woman." Chris shook his head slightly. "Actually, I think I'm the lucky one." "Why do you say that?" the driver asked. Chris let out a breath that was half a laugh and half a sigh. "I don't know. She's incredible. Smart, funny, beautiful, way out of my league. Honestly, I still don't know how I got her. But I did. And I don't plan on losing her." The driver smiled knowingly. "You know, you didn't ask me, but you seem like a good, humble man. And a man willing to put his life on the line for his country. I'd say Emma already hit the jackpot." Chris's cheeks flushed a little. "Thank you," he murmured. "That means a lot." They drove on quietly for a few more moments, sunlight filtering through the trees as the road curved toward the park. The driver glanced in the mirror again. "So, remind me again, why are we going to this park?" Chris's face lit up. "Emma usually takes her lunch break here. I know her routine. She sits on that same bench near the big oak tree every afternoon. As soon as she gets there, I'm going to walk up behind her, tap her on the shoulder, and—" He opened the box just slightly, revealing the glimmering diamond ring. "Ask her to marry me." The driver's eyes widened. That's romantic. She doesn't know you're back?" Chris shook his head, smiling. "Nope. She has no idea. She thinks I'm still overseas and won't be home until next month. But I pulled some strings. Took an early leave. I wanted to surprise her." "No," the driver chuckled and shook his head. "She's never going to see it coming." "Exactly," Chris said, his grin wide. "It's going to be perfect." They pulled up near the park entrance. Children laughed in the distance. A light breeze rustled the trees. Chris stared out at the familiar scene with his heart in his throat. This was it. The moment everything changed. The driver shifted the car into park, but didn't turn off the engine. "Hey," he said, clearing his throat. "Look, I know we don't know each other, but as a small token of my appreciation, this ride's on me." Chris blinked. "Wait, what?" "No charge," the driver said with a smile. "You're out there protecting our country. The least I can do is cover a ride. Consider it a thank you." For a second, Chris didn't know what to say. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious," the driver said. "And hey, I hope she says yes." Chris laughed, shaking his head. "Thank you. Really. That means a lot." "Don't mention it. Just promise me you'll invite me to the wedding," the driver joked. Chris chuckled and nodded. "Deal." He turned his gaze back to the park entrance. His heart beat faster now. Any minute, she'd walk through those gates. Any second, he'd see the woman he had missed every day for the last 2 years. The driver was about to say something else, but then his smile faded. His brow furrowed slightly as he peered through the windshield. Hey, man." Chris's heart jumped. "What?" The driver tilted his chin toward the sidewalk. "Please, Tell me that's not her. Chris's head snapped toward the direction he was pointing. And then, time froze. There she was, Emma, her hair catching the sunlight, her laugh floating through the breeze just like he remembered. But she wasn't alone. She was walking hand in hand with another man, laughing, looking into his eyes. And not just any man. Chris's breath hitched. "That's Richard," he whispered. That's my best friend." Before he knew what he was doing, Chris's hand was on the door handle. But the driver reached back and grabbed his wrist firmly. Hey, no," the driver said sharply. "It's not worth it." "Do you see what she's doing?" Chris shouted, his voice cracking. "Do you see who she's with?" "I see," the driver said calmly, tightening his grip. "I see it. But listen to me, it's not worth going over there." "That's my girlfriend," Chris yelled. "And my best friend. And they don't deserve you," the driver said firmly, locking eyes with him through the rearview mirror. "Neither of them do." Chris's entire body shook. His breathing turned ragged. "How could they do this to me?" he choked out. "I was overseas, risking my life. Every day I thought about her. Every night I dreamed about this moment. And this is what I come home to?" "I know," the driver said softly. "It's not fair. It's not right. But listen to me. You deserve better than this." "I love her," Chris whispered, his voice trembling. "I was going to marry her." "I know you were," the driver replied gently. "But do you really want to marry a woman who does this behind your back? After everything you sacrificed? After everything you gave?" Chris stared straight ahead, his jaw clenched, tears streaming silently down his face. His hands were still gripping the velvet box, but now it felt like a cruel joke, a weight of broken promises and wasted dreams. "Breathe," the driver said quietly. "Just breathe. You're better than this, soldier. Don't let them drag you down to their level." Chris let out a long, shaky breath. "I don't even know what to do." "Here's what you're going to do," the driver said, his tone calm but steady. "You're going to sit back. You're going to remember who you are. And you're going to walk away from this with your dignity intact. Because that woman, that friend, they don't define your worth. They don't get to take that from you." The silence stretched between them. The only sounds were Chris's uneven breathing and the faint laughter from the park laughter that once brought him joy and now cut through him like a blade. Finally, Chris slumped back into the seat. "Just take me home," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The driver nodded slowly. "All right." As the car pulled away, Chris kept his eyes on the shrinking figures in the park until they vanished completely from view. The ring box sat open on his lap, the diamond catching the light, a painful reminder of a future that would never happen. "Hey," the driver said softly as they turned onto Chris's street. "One day, you'll look back on this and realize they did you a favor. Trust me." Chris didn't respond. He stared blankly out the window, his chest hollow. He had been trained to survive war, but nothing in his training had prepared him for this.